I would like to welcome everybody to the Voice of Our Child. For those who are new here today, this is something that we started, David and I, because we're parents of a child who had really struggled with depression. We didn't even know it. We didn't know what to call it. Just like so many maybe parents out there, we really thought to ourselves, maybe she's just acting out. Maybe she's just being a lazy teen. But the whole time, our poor child was struggling with depression and suicidal ideation. And we've met so many parents after that who are losing sleep at night, wondering what's happening to their kids, or just even struggling themselves. And so we decided that with the voice of our child, we are giving a voice to every parent. We're giving a voice to every teacher out there, to every kid out there. And I personally believe that suicidal ideation and depression are the end results of so many issues that have gone unaddressed and so many questions that have gone unanswered. And unless we as adults talk to our kids through stories, and then they get to learn the life skills that way. Our kids will always believe that when something happens to their life, they're the first ones who are experiencing it, and they don't have a source on how to handle it. I think, for example, even about our girl child and the things we tell them about a woman's stage, and you're gonna get to 14, and this is what's gonna happen. If we didn't tell them that and that happened, then they'll think maybe that they're dying. So we have to be really open to our kids, to talk to them about life and things that we have experienced before. If we had somebody break our heart, we have to tell these teens that, because some kids have really taken their life just because a boy or girl broke up with them. Unless we tell them that those things have happened to us and how we handled it, these kids will never know the path that they're taking. Somebody has taken it and has overcome that. So we've really had wonderful guests, and through their stories, I have seen these kids just really glow and realize, oh my goodness, I always envied that celebrity. I did not understand that they grew up homeless. I did not understand that they were bullied when they were younger, or that they struggled with this and that. And not just guests who are adults, we've also had guests, who are younger. We had most of the people who are regular here, like present, and today we have somebody like Nina, a young adult, because I believe that giving our kids that platform, we get to hear their voice as well. Because sometimes as adults, we want to talk all the time and not listen to these kids and what they have to present. But I have to say that I have learned so much from just listening to these kids and the things that they know. And you realize as an adult, wow, we grew up in a different era. So maybe there's new technologies, is maybe how they're handling the problems that they're solving. But I always tell my kids, don't tell me just because I grew up in Africa that I'm a different teenager. The things that teenagers can get into, whether you grew in the 1950s, 1940s, yes, people still got pregnant, yes, people still got drunk, and yes, people still did all these sorts of things. So the things are the same. The problems that can come to you are the same. It's how we handle them. And so with this voice of our child, I've really met amazing people. And I thank Paul and Avery, who I met after I moved to Kinalon. And I was talking to somebody at our church about growing up in Maasai land and all the things, the genital mutilation that I escaped because my parents were Christians. My mom, unfortunately, was not able to escape that herself. And they said, you should meet Paul and Avery because they have helped your village, And I was doing all these safaris to Africa because I wanted to give back to my community. The community that I grew up in as a little girl, I always wanted to be able to go back there and be able to provide the school supplies and provide the clean water. As a little girl, I always ran after the tourist vehicles, and sometimes I'd throw a bottle of water, an empty bottle of water out of the vehicle. And I was like, oh man, like seriously, can they throw candy or something, But I have also seen firsthand the missionaries who came there. They gave us pencils and crayons and things that maybe we would never have been able to experience before. And I said, if I grow up and I get to go to this country, America, where I believe that God must have lived there, because when we had poverty in Kenya, so all these big trucks that had food made in America, I was like, wow, how can they have food and we're hungry? But anyway, after coming here, I said, I don't want to ever forget those kids that I left behind. And we've been able to do mission trips, and we have been able to provide school supplies. We've been able to provide clean water. We always carry those things on safari when we go. So when you see kids running, we always stop and give them school supplies, candy, and maybe, just some water. And it's just really helps the people who we take there to realize, wow, I'm really, creating an impact. The other thing that we started doing through the voice of our child is taking teenagers because we've realized that when teens are taken out of their current environment and involved with community service by helping others, they have helped themselves. And we have just seen parents just tell us, oh my goodness, my child is no longer the same. They're just, it's, I don't know what you did to them when they went to Africa. They're more appreciative, they're more giving, they're more this and that. Well, kids definitely sometimes have to see how lucky they are to have been born into this wonderful country that we call here America. And through that community service, we've just really been able to impact so many people. And we love doing that. And I just hope that Nina will be one of the kids that we take there. And what the way we do it is we try to reach out to organizations or individuals to sponsor some of these teens. Some of these teens, their parents pay for them. But for some teens, we also encourage them to be able to raise the money themselves, like do car washes, do laundry in your house, help your mom do something and have them pay you, mow the lawn and have your dad pay you, and then make money that way. So I think they even feel better when they have been able to raise that money themselves. And when I met Nina and I had her story, I was like, she needs to be a guest here because she, at a young age, has really impacted a lot of girls in Africa. And through our safaris right now with Avery and Paul, for every guest who's booking with us, we're educating a girl for a whole year. So I'm just so excited about that. It gives me so much joy because I was that little girl. So I could go on and on forever because I get excited about what I do, but I'll give David an opportunity to introduce himself and then we will start from there. And Nina will let us know the question of the day.
I'm David Verkijk, co-founder with Dr. Caroline Verkijk, a Voice of Our Child. It has meant a lot to me too, this organization, because I myself have dealt with depression, anxiety, thoughts of suicide and all of that. And this has helped me to hear a lot of wisdom from people that are speaking, from adults, from children. Actually, the children's advice has helped me more than the adults in a lot of cases. And I also get to be the DJ. I really enjoy playing the music and dancing, even if sometimes I'm the only one dancing. It's fun. That's it.
All right. So
Avery has
Nina, do you have a question of the day before we call on everybody to introduce themselves?
I just want to point out one thing is that Owen Weller is kind of Nina's cohort in this, and we haven't mentioned him. This is the first time we're seeing you live, so he's
part wow, yes. Oh yes, and that is so true. Yeah. Okay. It's so good to see you. Yes. Now I was thinking that name is so familiar. I'm really sorry. Yes.
And John Las Vegas. I'm here. He's their faculty, not faculty advisor. He's their Rotary connection. And they also have a faculty advisor who couldn't be here today or isn't here today, but they're all involved in the effort. Oh, thank you so much, Owen. And your story has to be told, and I want the world to hear that even at a very young age, you guys have really impacted those kids in Africa, and I want to be the one to take you there to meet them. So did you guys come up with a question of the day, and then we'll have everybody introduce themselves and answer the question?
Yes, we did. We created, our question is, what was your favorite project that you've done with other people to help others? Like one favorite project. Ooh.
I love that question. And so we will always start with Lacey. Lacey, introduce yourself, your name, your age, and answer the question of the day. And maybe, David, you can put it in the chat as well.
Hi, everyone. My name's Lacey. I'm 15 years old and I live in New Jersey. And I guess something that like a big project that I done would probably be like a project where the school where we like donate canned foods to like help and donate to like people that can't afford to get it, to like the homeless and stuff like that. And also we raised money too. I don't know how much it was, but there was like an event that we had, and then the tickets, the money that they use for the tickets, they use that to help pay for people.
Oh, that's awesome, Lacey. That's really good. I'm glad that you were able to be a part of that and to be proud about, being a part of that. Thank you so much. So, Yati.
Hi, everyone. My name is Yatarth, but you can call me Yeti. I'm 15 years old and I'm from Bangalore, India. One of the biggest projects that I have done would be a lake revival with 4 of my classmates and me. where we basically raised around 8.27 lakhs, which is around $10,700 through crowdfunding. And we revived a lake in Bangalore, like in the outskirts of Bangalore, which is 4.5 acres, with the guidance of the Lake Man of India. So we managed to revive the lake in under 30 days, and we presented it at the UN headquarters in New York. To give you a comparison, other lakes in Bangalore, we revived this lake with 8.27 lakhs, but other lakes in Bangalore, which are being revived by the government, cost crores, like 2-3 crores together. So that's a lot more than 8 lakhs. So that's the biggest project I've done.
You're on mute, dear. You're on mute, sweetheart. My sweetie, you're on mute. Dr. Caroline.
Oh, thank you so much, Yeti, for that. And yes, you have really done amazing work, and with your mom too, and your dad. Like it's good to be involved with the community, and we do see that. And I think that the legacy that you're creating is something that will go a very long way in your life because of the work that you're doing. And just for those of you who don't know Yati, Yati is one of our guests here, and Yati can sing 260 different national anthems. And so normally when we have a guest, we always have Yati sing the national anthem of their country. And so he'll do that when we go live. Sorry, David, I thought that you were going to say something. So, okay. And then we'll call on Moses.
Moses, are you there?
You're on mute again, dear.
Moses.
Moses, yes.
Can you hear us, Moses?
Yes.
Yes, I think he just unmuted himself. Hello, Moses.
Hello.
Good to have you here.
Moses.
Oh.
Oh, that's not your Moses. This is the Moses from
Moses from Kenya.
It's a different Moses.
Yeah, he's also Moses from Kenya.
Are you?
So Moses, the question of the day is in the chat. And so if you could introduce yourself, your name and your age, where you're from, and then answer the question of the day.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Moses. I'm from Kenya. I'm 16. And a project that I've done with other people that impacted me a lot is okay. We have a school club that always helps that always gives to charity. So just like maybe this 2 Saturdays ago, we had a project where we planted trees and also went to various children's homes to give food and toys to the special needs.
Wow, that's good. And so did you do it like through your school or through the church or just organizing your friends to be able to do something like that?
Club, yeah, friends.
Oh, wow, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And so good. So good to see. How is your brother? Is he here?
Yeah, he is, but he's busy at the moment.
He's shy.
Oh, busy?
He's probably shy, and that means he's busy. He's very shy, and that would be his excuse. I'm busy. But if he could peek at us and say hi, it would be nice. Even if he's busy, he could just come in and say hi and go.
No, he's actually out.
Oh, okay. Well, say hello to your brother for us.
Yeah. We were expecting you to come at 5, but
So what time is it now there? 6. What time is it now?
7.
7. Oh, 7, and you were expecting us at 5?
5:30. 5:30.
Oh, 5:30. So we are an hour late.
Yeah, we should have started at 9:30 here in US.
I know. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we had said that we were gonna do that because I'm getting all these text messages from the people who Zoom. They're like, we came on, nobody was letting us in. And I'm like, oh my goodness. We always forget that when you switch our time, that other countries don't. And so they're waiting for us. We know where to be found. I'm really sorry about that, but anyway. All righty. But it's good that you logged in. Thank you so much, Moses. Always good to see you.
Thank you.
And then we could ask Mr. John Hogan to introduce himself.
Sure thing. How are you guys?
Good.
So I guess why I'm here is because I'm a member of the Madison, New Jersey Rotary Club, and we had received a couple presentations from Paul and Avery about their Maasai Girls Fund, and it as I'm responsible for coordinating activities between the Rotary and our Madison High School Interact Club, it just struck me as something that would add something. First, it's a Rotary related organization, and that the members are Rotary members, and that it would provide the students with an opportunity to work on an international project as opposed to a lot of domestic U.S. projects. And this has worked out very well. Through their efforts, they've raised enough money to send one of the village girls to high school for 4 years. My background is, and I think that's marvelous. And I think there's some money left over there too for a few other things. Maybe we can buy a few goats, right, Owen? I think you were talking about goat buying. So sure. I had been, I guess I'm involved in the youth aspect because I'd been very involved in Scouts for many years, and as a Scoutmaster and other roles. So I'm happy to be here. I think the question of the day is, what's the biggest project you've been involved in? And I've been involved in a number in different organizations. I was involved in other service organizations before the Rotary, but the biggest one has been the End Hunger project that was led by our Rotary Club and now is becoming a district project through the leadership of the Madison Rotary. Back in March of 2019, and Nina and Owen, I think maybe you guys were both there at that time. I don't remember all the participants at the event at Drew University. We had over 1,000 people volunteering, packaging food up. Hundreds of thousands of meals were packaged and sent to food pantries all over northern New Jersey. And it's really, I just want to echo something before I stop talking that Caroline had said about how you thought, the United States has all kinds of food and we were hungry. And there's a tremendous, one of the leading reasons for being, I guess, for the Madison Rotary is to help combat food insecurity. Even in the United States, there's lots of people, I think it's like 1 out of 6 people don't know where they're going to get their next meal or that they'll have enough food for a meal for their family.
That's true, yeah.
And so in addition to the big food project, that it led into, I know I'm talking too much, but I'll stop.
No, go on. I'm loving and I'm
actually, Nina have both
participated.
In addition to all the other stuff they've been doing in leadership of the project to raise money and the walkathon we had back in May. They've also been involved in our every 2 weeks collecting food from about 80 different families in Madison and bringing it to a local food pantry. In fact, today's one of those days. I have my bag out in front. I don't know who's going to collect it. It was there when I looked the last time, but I'm sure it'll be picked up before noon today. So there you are. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, John. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, nice to meet you, John, and thank you so much for all that information. I'm writing all those things down, and it's great that you mentioned about families going hungry here as well, because when we were growing up in Africa and I was a little girl, we used to have exchange students from Dartmouth that used to come and stay with us, or I think in the political science, and they would come stay with us like for 4 months. And I remember as a little kid, like always going into their backpacks and seeing like all these little nice pants that they had, and like smelling their deodorants and things like that, and going like, wow, like these people, like, looking at their sneakers and trying them on when they were not there. It was just like in awe of all this, and thinking of America as a land of milk and honey. And I know that it is for a lot of us as immigrants, but having lived here, it really did break my heart to realize that there were people here who are probably more poor than people where I grew up. And it just really goes to show that that it's great to have people like you, John, and people like Nina and Owen and so many other people who are also thinking of the people here, you know? And I know that there's places where I used to go present and people are like, oh, why would I be helping somebody in Africa when I can help the people here? And I'd say, do you help the people here? No, you don't. So, it's like, so, and also knowing that it's also good to extend your wings beyond where you are as well. And I say that in, at least in America, people do have like food pantries and they have like, welfare, but in Africa, there's nothing like that. But it's also good to know that your neighbor could be hungry and you don't even know about it, but I know that America is also not like Africa, where you can just knock on somebody's door and say, oh, I made an extra thing of potatoes here, do you want some? Did you guys have food? If you go to somebody's house, they're like, was I expecting you? But in Africa, there's stuff like that. So your neighbor could be going hungry, but you don't know because we don't have that openness. So to hear somebody like you, and I'm also a member now of the Rotarian Club in Pequannock, thanks to Avery and Paul. The fact that you can put food out of your door, the fact that you're reaching out, because some people are so afraid to come and ask, but the fact that you're also going there and telling them, I know you're there, is just really, really beautiful. And you're teaching these kids a very good way. And I just love being part of the Rotary, because I believe that what they're doing is what we're all called to do. Like, think of your brother and think of your sister, and just always know, if you're growing apples in your backyard and you have some extras, just give them to the neighbor. If they don't want them and they throw them out, at least you gave. So thank you so much.
I just say, for the benefit of Owen and Nina, I just was at the board meeting yesterday, learned that we will be doing another in-person food packaging event, probably of the scale that we did back in March of 2019. Could not do the last couple of years because of COVID, but we'll be back again. The date has been set in March of 2022. So at the Armory, Morristown Armory this time.
Is that something that other people can help with, or just your organization?
We have volunteers from corporates who send a team of people. We have volunteers from many different nonprofit organizations, and then troops of Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts have come. Actually, we run out of space for people to help. So
okay.
Oh wow.
We need to know your interest early on and get you on the list.
Yeah, I'm interested to help.
Yeah, it's a fun day.
Yeah. Is Doug Cook involved in that?
Doug Willis?
Doug Cook.
It's not clicking. It may very well be. I'm just ignorant.
Okay. Because our club participates in something called Grains of Hope, that also we packaged food. I think it was for Puerto Rico during the disaster time, and stuff like that. I wonder. So never mind.
Yeah, but I'm glad to see that Rotary has many different dimensions of helping with food insecurity. So
yeah. Well, thank you for all you do in your club. Wow.
Yeah, I wish my colleague Doug Willis and Carol Rawding, who's the faculty advisor to the Interact Club, could be here this morning. But I sent the invitation out, but of course it went out a little late. So
yeah,
they're engines of help with this process too. It's not just me.
Well, I understand. It just like it's not just any of us, right? Yeah. We all have.
Well, you have represented them very well.
Good.
May I add a note about Rotary? Something that I found out recently, that Rotary was instrumental in the formation of the United Nations. I knew they had a seat there and an office there, so they have a voice at the United Nations. But I did not know that when the United Nations was formed, Rotary was one of the few secular groups that was a global enterprise. So they called upon Rotary to be one of the cornerstones of the formation at that time.
That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Just bragging on Rotary.
Although the very first project for Rotary, when the club was originally formed, back a little after the turn of the century, was to build a public toilet in Chicago. So,
wow.
I'm a long way.
We could use a few of them in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Well, I know there's rotaries in a lot of different countries, because I know when Caroline and I were in Kenya once, we went to 3 or 4 different Rotary clubs and made presentations for the different things that Caroline and I were trying to have happen, like the water project in Kenya. So I'm sure there's Rotary in a lot of other countries besides Kenya and the US as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I think it's a worldwide thing. I think so.
I'm sure there's a Bangalore club.
Oh,
Yeah.
India's phenomenal Rotary membership and support. So Yadi has lots of opportunities to get into Rotary in a few years.
Yeah.
I've actually spoken once or twice over there. So I'm not sure if you know Mr. Manoj Kabre. You might have or might not have heard of him.
Who is he?
Well, he's a Rotarian, and he's part of Rotary for quite some time now. I mean, mostly he's an active Rotarian. I mean,
that's great.
In Bangalore, right?
Bangalore.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
I wanted to.
Yeah, I was wondering where Rohit and Rahul are today. So we'll have Avery and Paul also introduce themselves, and then we will go live.
I'm sorry. I just want to say the international president of Rotary is Shekhar Mehta, who's an Indian gentleman. So.
Oh, and he used to be a safari rally driver, right? In Kenya, Shekhar Mehta. We all knew him as our hero there.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we used to have the cross country. Yeah, the cross country safari rallies, and he was one of the best drivers. I think he almost won every year.
This is his picture.
Oh yes. Oh wow. Well, now I think he looks older there. Yeah, we knew him, I think, when he was younger.
You know, I've noticed this happens as you get older. You look different. You know.
Yeah, John. I'm sure if we all could show our pictures when we were younger, we look different. Yes. So Paul and Avery, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Sure. I'm Paul Mantell, and I am the husband of the Rotarian. But you know, when I was Nina and Owen's and Yati's age, I'm trying to think back and what was I doing to help other people? And what comes to me is we used to do variety shows and take them around to old age homes and nursing homes and sing for the people there. That was about the extent of my activism and involvement in charity outside the arts, because I was a theater person. And, you know, most of my charitable stuff was associated with helping small theaters survive. That was before 2012 when we went to Kenya and got involved with the Maasai. But by then, you know, my life and circumstances had changed and I was more able to help in a bigger way. But, you know, life hands you opportunities to help. And when you spot one where the return for the put out of energy is so great, it's really hard to say no then, because you're being vested with so much power just by being who you are, that to not put it to good use, you know, how do you look at yourself in the mirror after that? So, but I find young people like these to be so inspiring. I mean, it just makes me want to hang out with them, and you know, their energy lifts me. So it's a great thing.
Well,
you're working very well with all the young people in Kenya. So you guys have that touch.
Whenever Paul talks to young people, they always seem to enjoy it.
Yeah. I can see that.
Well, I write books for them, so I mean, I'm focused on them and their point of view in my daily life. So
that's true. So Avery, would you like to add on to that?
Well,
introduce yourself.
This could be very long.
I don't think I can add anything at this time, and you all know who I am. So
she started an environmental group here in Kennewick. Okay. She's done a lot of stuff. So just to get started, another day. Rest on the Maasai Girls Fund for now.
Goodbye.
That's all.
Okay, so I'm actually trying to get us here to go live so that when we get to introduce our speakers that we... Oh, and how do you spell your last name? I'm on a different screen right now.
Weller, Weller.
Okay. And Nina, how do you say your last name? Konchenko?
Konchenko.
Konchenko. Oh, Konchenko. Yeah. You know, it sounds like there's a Maasai name for it's pronounced the same, Konchenko, but that's not how it's spelled. But yeah, there's a Maasai name.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
I think it's Konchenko. Yeah, Konchenko.
What does it mean?
I have no idea, but now that I'm just thinking about it, I'm like, maybe I'll find out what it really means.
I hope it's nothing terrible.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think that when people in Africa name a child or somebody, it has to be with an event or just something great. Yeah, not anything bad. Yeah. So I can get here. Okay, so we're already live on this, and right. So yeah, So the naming has to do something with the season or something like that. So I don't know about that Maasai name, but I'm gonna try to find out about that. So we are live now, and for the world that's watching out there, again, my name is Caroline Bakaik, founder of the Voice of Our Child, which is an organization that we started so that we wanted to give kids the life skills that they need to be able to overcome obstacles in life, so that we could reduce the rate of depression, suicidal ideations in our teen, and create an environment where we have the stigma of mental illness never really having to determine, how somebody does in life or how other people see them, because mental health is such an invisible thing in our lives, and so many people have suffered in silence where the world didn't even really know exactly what they were going through. And through the Voice of Our Child, we have just evolved into this little village that just embraces everything about like bringing up a child. And in Africa, I know we always used to say that it takes a village to raise a child, but we have really seen that village includes the children also kind of helping us to understand exactly who they are and also teaching us a lot of things. And part of the way we do it is by inviting guests, not just adults, but the kids as well. And our guest today's story is just something that will just blow your mind. At a very young age, we always think that it's only when you grow up to be an adult that you can change the world. But our guest today will be talking to almost all the youth in the world to say, you're never too young to make a difference in the world. And when they had Paul and Avery, who we were talking to before, present at their school, I think, and they'll be talking about it, they were touched and thought, how can I be able to reach out and help those people? And now they're trying to work out a project where they can all like raise funds with a group of kids and actually go and see these kids who they helped in Africa. So as you hear their story and as they share their contact, I hope that you will find it in yourself the need to just reach out to them and help them fulfill that extra step that they need to do to be able to achieve their goals. And I see a few people who've joined in here, and actually one of them is a lady who is from Maasai land and has a school there, Mrs. Partate Elizabeth, and she is just somebody who has helped so many Maasai girls, and I really wanted her to be there today, and I'm just gonna give them an opportunity to also say something before we introduce our amazing speaker, Nina and Owen. And so Elizabeth, I think maybe, I don't know, she's probably just dropped off. And we have Nia Raja here, and we are just so happy to see you too. And if you would like to maybe just introduce yourself before the speaker gets to speak. And there was a question of the day that Nina herself came up with, and I would like her to ask you that question or kind of just repeat that question to you so that you can get to hear it from her herself now that we are live.
Okay. Hi, I'm Nirja. I'm from Bangalore, India. I'm an educator since almost 2.5 decades. I've been working with children, and I do take them for community service programs, and I train them for public speaking. Now I'm working with all the underprivileged children, like, training them. I'm mentoring them, mentoring them to get quality education in all the government schools. And I was part of WFONA, World Federation United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So I helped my children to address all the community issues, pressing issues, which they can take up so that we can see some responsible youth and citizen of our country who are contributing their bit to the society and to make this world a better place. So I'm very happy to connect with all of you. I thank Shilpa and Yati, who is part of this as well. And I'm proud to say that I was a teacher to Yatharth Murthy as well.
Wow. We see where he got all his wisdom from a good teacher.
In school? Was he well behaved in school?
Yeah, very, very good child from almost grade 6, from 6 years old.
Okay.
That's what, whenever I meet him, I tell, what was his first speech I taught him at the age of 5 or 6. He always used to be a very well behaved and very determined child, very focused. And I'm very glad that I'm very proud that I'm his teacher. So.
Okay.
That's great. We love teachers, and I think that the teachers should be the most paid people around the world because they taught us everything we know. So we are standing here talking and being able to speak and express ourselves because a teacher taught you how to say the words. A teacher taught you how to write your name, So I think that teachers are just amazing people, and a lot of parents have had more appreciation for teachers during the COVID when they had to stay home with their kids and try to teach them homework and all they said if there was anybody who was going to find a vaccine or a solution to cure COVID, it was parents because they were tired and frustrated about trying to teach their kids at home. So we really thank you, teachers, for your patience in really being able to teach our kids and to bring great people like Yati and Lacey and Nina and Owen and all the other kids who come here today. Thank you.
Thank you.
So yeah, thank you so much. Thanks to have you. And Mrs. Prates, I know you might not want to use your video. If you'd like just to say something and answer the question of the day, which is one project that you have done in the community. And I'm just so glad that you were able to come here because I wanted you to meet Nina and Owen and hear about the project that they are doing in your village. I know you're part of the Maasai people and it's just so great. And I know I've talked to you about Paul and Avril so many times and you've met them and we just love what you're doing also for the kids in Maasai land. So if you could just introduce yourself.
Hi, Carol.
Hi, how are you?
This is me at home, so you can see how I've spent my afternoon. I've been here doing what most mothers do at home. Hi, David. Glad to meet all the good people in this forum. Thank you for Nina and her husband, and I've heard great things about you.
It's a friend. Nina is a teenager. And Owen is maybe they'll get married in the future.
Oh my God!
You're embarrassing. Owen was just like a husband. His face, I could just see his face, and Nina was like, I don't know. It's all right. It's okay.
My apologies. I just came into the meeting. I was in an area where there was poor network, so I was moving up and about.
Thank you.
So as Carol mentioned, my name is Elizabeth. I'm part of this great people called the Maasai. I'm here by marriage, and I feel more of them than where I came from. I also happen to be very privileged to be working with the young people in school, all the way from the early years, what we call the kindergarten, then the primary school, which ends at 13 years. At community level, I also am very passionate about just mentoring and making a difference in the young people's lives. My joy and what I call a blessing is to see me making a difference in somebody who was almost giving up and just putting some hope into them or encouraging them when they feel like they're tired. And working in a school has also humbled me. I've had some challenges with maybe pupils who are also struggling, moral behavior, social behavior. But most important is that in my everyday, I look forward to making every child's life better than it was yesterday. It fulfills me. I hope this is what we're going to hear. For those working in my community, thank you so much, because I know you'll make a big difference. I have been a mentor. I have nurtured some girls. I have personally have, would I say sponsor, or I've been a guardian to several Maasai girls up to today. And I know without my help, their lives would not have been what they are today. So we're together as a team. Thank you, Carol, for bringing us together. And I believe we'll hear more. Let me not take much time. Thank you so much. And I'm glad to be here.
Thank you, Mrs. Partet.
Yeah, thank you, Mrs. Partet. We call her Mrs. Partet, but actually her name is Elizabeth. But in our culture, I'm not supposed to call her by her first name because she's older than me. So, but sometimes for the benefit of sometimes I guess we are like, that's
Yes.
Elizabeth. You can call her that, but we cannot address her with that. So my apologies, Mrs. Partet, for calling you by your first name, but just for the benefit of our guest. And she's an
You're
educator
allowed.
in Kenya, and
You're
she
allowed.
has
Thank
really
you.
nurtured so many kids, and one of the kids actually is always here with that as Anita, and I know that they're battling a cold with a sister. But when Anita came to the United States, there's everybody was like, oh, she's from Kenya. You know, when you're trying to enroll them in school, and she was 9 years old, and the school kind of looks at you like, yeah, how is she going to understand the English? How's going to do? She ended up
Oh
being the
my.
best student in her class. And
Yeah,
it's almost like the teachers are like, where did you say again that she came from? You know, so it tells about the foundation that you gave her. And it's so
I'm
beautiful to
proud.
see her, you know, really giving actually a good name to, you know, the Kenyans people there.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
because they were very surprised, and they were like, wow, her English is good. I mean, she's really smart. I said, yeah, kids in Africa are smart. They
Great.
just need the opportunity.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. All right. So
You're welcome.
I would love to introduce our guest speakers for today, Nina Concheco. Oh, by the way, Mrs. Parse, before you go, can you explain to us what Conchenko, because it's a Maasai, it's also a Maasai name, and Paul wanted to know what it means, but maybe you might do that later. But I think Conchenko, it's a Maasai name, but anyway, Nina that's not her Maasai name, but she'll explain to us where she got that name, and Owen Weller, and what these teens are doing around the world. So if you're listening, and if you're a teen, like, just listen. And if you're a parent, just listen and share this video with your kids, because these teens are changing the world, and they have changed some kids' life in Africa. And I can't just wait for you to hear that. And also to hear what their future plans are, because you might just want to get involved with what these two are doing. So Nina, without further ado, thank you so much for the opportunity that that you have given us to be able to have you and Owen here with us. And, you know, just you can start on, and just if you want to share screen, I have you on sharing the screen. But maybe just first start by telling us, you know, who you are, your age, and you know what you're all about, and also the same thing with Owen, and then tell us how you got involved now with what you are doing. Welcome.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. We created a presentation about us.
Okay.
So my name is Nina Kornchenko, and this is Owen Weller, and today we're going to be talking to you guys about our involvement with the Maasai Girls Fund. So we are juniors at Madison High School in Madison, New Jersey, and we're both 16 years old, and we're student leaders of the Interact Club at Madison High School. And a little bit of background on what the Interact Club is that it's a branch of the Rotary Club, but it's like a student part of it. And what the Rotary Club is, we talked about it a lot, but it's a community service organization. So their motto is like service above self. So the Interact Club also focuses in on those ideals. And I found a statistic that the Rotary Club actually has 35,000 clubs in over 200 countries. So it's a really international thing, and it's a big program worldwide. And in addition to this, I'm also the vice president of our student body. And I play soccer and swim for the Madison High School. And yeah, and in my free time, I like to spend time with my friends and family, volunteer with my friends, and travel around the world and meet new people. And since we're in junior year, we're also thinking about college. So I thought I'd put it in there that I'm interested in going into pre-med studies in neuroscience or psychology.
And then I'm Owen Weller. I'm also a junior at Madison High School and a student leader of the Madison High School Interact Club. I'm the president of our student body. And outside of school, I'm a club swimmer for the Madison area YMCA, as well as swimming for the high school. So I'm at the pool a lot. I also participate in tutoring throughout the Madison High School public school system with elementary schoolers and middle schoolers who are learning English as their second language. So I'll like help talk to them in Spanish and help them with their homework and stuff to help them get adjusted to the new workload and just the new environment. Outside of school, I enjoy hanging out with friends, volunteering, watching TV, reading, and working out. And in terms of college in the future, I'm not 100% decided on my major, but I'm interested in biochemistry or potentially pre-law. And then I just wanted to talk a little bit about how Nina and I got involved with the Interact Club. So neither of us were part of the club in freshman year. However, and in freshman year, we went into lockdown because of COVID. So coming back in sophomore year, we went into hybrid mode, which we were half online and half in person. And we really just wanted to help people in even our own community, just within the small town of Madison, who were struggling with COVID, whether that was food insecurity or like not having the resources to attend virtual schooling, not being able to keep up with the workload because you were at home all the time and maybe it wasn't the best environment to learn. So we joined Interact Club, which is run at our school, and attended virtual meetings every week. And just through that, we've been able to make a difference through various programs such as working with the Maasai girls, or we participate in the Madison Ends Hunger Food Collection, which runs every 2 weeks and delivers food to a local food pantry to help people in our community who are suffering from food insecurity and help raise awareness within our school to give back to those who are less fortunate.
Wow, beautiful.
So then we met the Mantells for the first time over Zoom because we were, as I said before, we were meeting once a week on Tuesdays for about 30 minutes to an hour just to discuss various events. And Mr. Hogan, who's on this call, brought us into contact with the Mantells, and they presented to us about their connection to the Maasai girls in Kenya. These girls were being victims of being genitally cut, and so there's child brides, and had not as many rights and or lack of education. And the Mantells have been helping over the past almost 10 years now educate these girls and allow them to pursue a better future, and then help them give back to their community. So the two of us were immediately drawn to this topic, and we wanted to help out. So we became the leaders of the Interact Club with the Maasai girls, and we wanted to help assist them in not only educating the girls, but providing the village with clean water, renewable energy, and just increasing their educational opportunities.
Beautiful.
All right, yeah. So like Owen said, after learning about these girls, we talked to each other after the meeting, and we found that we both really wanted to help make an impact on these girls. And we thought it was just an incredible opportunity because we're able to better the lives of these girls who are either around our age or the age of our siblings who are younger than us. And we can help them even though they're halfway across the world and in a very different position from us. So we started off doing a video introduction of ourselves. So this basically included like our hobbies, our families, what we like to do in our free time. And the point of this was so that we could see them face to face on video and introduce ourselves. And it was really cool that they were able to respond back with videos and we could see them and their lives. And yeah, so after that, Owen and I talked and we brainstormed a bunch of ideas of ways we could help fundraise for these girls. And we presented to the Rotary Club about our cause and the Maasai Girls Fund. And then we decided on our idea, which was to do a walkathon for the Madison High School Day of Service. So the idea was that we would gather a group of students from our high school and walk throughout Madison where people could see us so that they would know about our cause. And we encouraged all the students in our grade and in grades above and below us to participate and donate. And we had a great turnout of about 80 students that you can see in the bottom left picture. That's all of us. And Owen and I are right there with our board. And yeah, so we walked through town a total about 6 miles in the morning, and we handed out flyers that had links to donate. And we also wore lanyards around our necks of pictures of each of the girls so that we could show them to people. And yeah, so our initial goal was actually to raise $1,200 so that we could sponsor a girl to go to high school for 2 years, but we actually were able to surpass this goal by a lot, and we raised over double. We got $2,500, which means that our girl can go to high school for all 4 years like Owen and I will, and have the full high school experience. And so we chose Leah Milano, the girl on the top left, because she's also in high school like us, and we thought it would be really cool to learn about the life of a high schooler who's the same age as us in a different country. She's actually born in 2005, like Owen and I are. So we're like exactly the same age. And yeah, we wanted to learn more about her life, and we thought we'd be able to relate to her more, being teenagers and sharing the same mental health problems or the hard work with high school and all that. So, and then over the summer, we still wanted to do more, even though our Interact Club stopped meeting over summer because we didn't have school. So we decided to create these summer letters of encouragement for all the girls. And the idea behind this is that people in the US and in Kenya can support each other through high school and encourage each other to be the best possible version of themselves that they can be. And so right now, either one of my friends or somebody in their Interact Club has a pen pal in Kenya. So that was a really cool correspondence. And we have a total of about 40 letters for the 40 girls. And through all this, a point that I wanted to make was that, like Caroline said, you're never too young to make a difference. Like Owen and I, we're in high school, we're 16, but there's still so much more that we want and that we can do for the Maasai girls in Kenya. So if you have an idea, like when Owen and I were talking, if you ever have an idea, you should definitely go for it. And if it seems like a big thing to do, you can always ask adults for help. There's plenty of adults that are around to help you. And yeah, you can definitely do it, because for us, 1,200 seemed like a lot of money, but we were able, through hard work, adults supporting us, we were able to raise over 2,500. So yeah.
And then, so like we definitely did face some challenges on our way to raising the money, particularly because of the pandemic. It was difficult to meet with the Interact Club and also just like set up a COVID friendly event. We were limited to only being outside, obviously maintaining social distancing and just like following the guidelines set out by the CDC. And so we had to get everything approved by our school administration. And we also needed a platform to encourage people to donate. And also we just like had to communicate with both the Mantells and the Maasai people, which was difficult as like their translator Moses and who we communicated with was hurt for a period of time. And eventually it did work out. We were able, obviously Nina said, we were able to raise $2,500. And the walkathon did go as planned. We were able to walk about 4.5 miles. And this took place, just for a little context, on our day of service. So we were actually you're given a choice in our school to volunteer for one of about 35 projects. And our walkathon got the most amount of people to be a part of the project with between 80 and 100. And we raised, I'm pretty sure, more money than any of the other projects. So it was overall a huge success despite facing these challenges.
All right, yeah. So Owen and I don't want to stop there either. We still want to be able to do more for these girls. So our plan is to expand to other Interact clubs and schools throughout New Jersey and reach more high schools. And our idea with this is that, you know, the more people you get involved, the more people can raise and the bigger impact you can have on the Maasai girls. So we're planning on presenting to either the leaders of different Interact clubs or going to the different schools and presenting to the whole club. So yeah, and then we want to continue our correspondence with our girl, Leah Milano, and also we want to continue facilitating the pen pal letters so that the kids can learn more about each other. And then a big thing that we really want to do is we want to go on this summer trip to Kenya to finally be able to meet the girls. And we want to talk to them in person finally and help out with anything they might need in the community. And also, this was something that Caroline mentioned, but I heard that a lot of the girls like to play soccer, but they haven't been able to because traditionally it's a guy sport. And I was thinking that since I play soccer and I teach little kids here how to play soccer, that I could bring a soccer ball or something and play some soccer with them. And then our last idea for this year is to make some health ed videos for the schools, to have the girls learn about their bodies, physical well-being, that kind of thing, and to help protect them. But yeah.
And then provided in this slide are our emails, and we are going to send the link to donate to the Maasai girls. Potentially, I think we can send it in the chat. But any thing you can donate is helpful, or if you just want to be a part of maybe writing a pen pal letter, feel free to email one of us, because the girls, I've sent a letter and then I've received a letter back, and I'm in the process of writing another one. And it's a really fun process because it's just we live thousands of miles apart, but you're kind of connected through the letter, and you can learn about someone's life who's so different than yours, but at the same time, more similar than you would think. And it's just really awesome. And any money that could be donated is just great, because we can either help raise money for another girl to attend high school, or just help their village with whatever they need at the moment, whether that is water or food, or resources such as solar panels for clean energy or something. Anything is helpful. And thank you so much for listening to our presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. My goodness, I'm looking at the PowerPoint presentation. I'm like, wow, I have seen adults who have not done a good job like you guys have done. And I like how you start with the introductions of who you are and how you got into it. And like I said, there's just so much that we are learning from you. But even what touches me the most is your desire to even continue being part of these girls' lives. And not only that, the ideas, I was almost getting goosebumps. I can tell the excitement from your faces as you're talking about the pen pal and how we write to them and we get all this, and just that excitement of knowing of another teen who's going through your age. And I love the fact that, because I was wondering, why did they pick this girl? And just as I was wondering, you explained it. She's a teenager like us. She was born the same year that we were born. And in just exchanging that, because that's part of the thing that we do with the Voice of Our Child when we do the mission trip to Kenya. We have a day where we have teens from Kenya on one side and teens from the US on one side, and they all talk about what struggles that they go through, what keeps you awake at night or what frustrates you and all that. And it's just so amazing to see almost the faces of both sides, where a kid from the US might say, well, there's this new iPhone that's really come out and I get frustrated when my parent, and the kid from Kenya is looking at them like, what? And the kid is like, my biggest frustration is, will I be able to have a pen to go back to school tomorrow? Or will I be able to have a meal? And just that exchange is just so beautiful to watch. So for you people to be interacting with kids who are your age, it also teaches you what they struggle with. and what you struggle with there. And I can see even just from talking to you, Nina, the other day when you were talking about, oh, when I talk to them, this is what they're going through. And even you thinking, oh, I want to do a health video project of how I can help these girls, like, just in hygiene and things like that. That is so beautiful to watch. And I just really have to thank you, because I was that little girl and I wish that I had somebody your age writing a letter to me all the way from the US and having that exchange, because it just really shows you that somebody else cares. And it would have been just fun to just hear what's going on in your life. But like as a kid, I always imagined I'd sit like this, and when I'm maybe doing stuff with my brothers in the field, and I wonder what kids around the world like our age do. Like we would be wondering those things, because sometimes when we see you on TV once in a while, we had a black and white TV which worked half the year, would be just like, fun things and all these teens doing fun things. And we're like, wow, do they ever like do chores? Like, do they ever like have to do laundry? Do they ever have to, But it's so beautiful that you're keeping that communication open, and we will try to help you as much as we can. Also, writing to other sponsors to reach out to you guys to help you, and not just you, but to sponsor even more teens. So if you have any ideas for any fundraisers or walks or things that we can do, or even like summer dance or something that we can help you raise those funds, we would love to be part of that, because I just can't wait to see the faces of these kids in Avery and Paul's Maasai village when they actually get to see you face to face. And I know that because when I take people back to Kenya, it's almost like I'm seeing my country for the first time. I'm seeing it in their eyes. When they're in awe of something, I'm like, my goodness, I never really thought about that. They're like, wow, I didn't know a giraffe was that tall. And I'm thinking, I never really thought about it, or just the scenery of the people. So we are going to help make that happen. And you have just somebody so wonderful, John Hogan, who's here with you and who really believes in the youth and what they're trying to do. And then Paul and Avery, who have given you the opportunity to help the girls in their village. So is there anybody who has a question or a comment for them?
I have, with Nina's permission, can I read one of the letters that you have written to the girls in Kenya? I just picked a random one here, just so you all get an idea of. Picture yourself as, this is to I guess, an elementary school girl. Dear Pauline, my name is Nina Kornchenko. I go to high school in the USA. I'm 16 years old. I hope you are doing well finishing your schoolwork. I was learning from home for a long time too. However, we are now all back in school wearing masks. I love seeing all my friends. How's everything going for you? How are all your teachers? Even if your tests or subjects are hard, remember that you always have people who want to help you. Your friends and teachers are there for you. Stay strong through tough times. You can make it through anything. Talk soon.
That's really nice.
And they're all from the various kids, they strike that similar tone. So, and then the girls have written back, many of them, and you can see that it means something to them, because when they're working very hard, learning 3 languages at a time, as well as their other schoolwork, and when for them to take time to write a letter and to pour out their thoughts and share their dreams, it's extra work, but it's a big deal to them, that this means something. And I know what's going to happen when Nina and Owen show up in Africa. And they meet. There's going to be a lot of tears flowing. It's a very emotional thing when you actually get to see the impact of your caring. It's all about how much you care. And that's a very powerful thing. And people who know care. So the thing is to know, is to learn about how people are living all around the world and what it takes to make improvements. Not that much. Yeah, these kids are amazing. Thank you both, and thank all of you.
Yeah, and it's also helping with their writing skills when they have to write to you. I remember when we were younger, even just getting an envelope and a stamp was a big thing. Like trying to tell your mom, like, buy me a stamp, because there was that pen pal thing. It was introduced when we were younger. Not that we had people who we were communicating with, but we knew about that pimple thing. But just even to ask your mom to buy you a stamp, it's like they're choosing between buying a potato to make dinner for everybody and a stamp. So for these girls to just even get an envelope and a stamp and be able to write to you, it's an effort on their side, but it just makes even maybe their parents feel great that, you know, who knows, in the future they'll know somebody from here and they'll probably end up coming to school here, which is one of the things that I'm really hoping that we can get more of those Maasai girls to come to colleges here and get scholarships so that they can go back into their villages and become teachers and become doctors and become whatever they want to be, and engineers and everything, just to be able to help their village. And if they have a friend like you, who knows, maybe that girl might just end up in the same college as you are, you know, and you'll have given her that opportunity and just that moment to tell her that, you know, that you care. So that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's really cool. I was writing a letter actually the other day to one of the girls, and she wants to be a doctor and I want to go into pre-med studies. So I was like, wow, we can support each other through that.
That's so great. Yes, that's so great. And even if she doesn't end up coming here, she ends up doing it there, you could do homework. Now with the Zoom and the letters, you could do homework. One of the things that we do here, the Voice of Our Child, is like different kids in different countries. We had a presentation the other day where kids were talking about what they struggle with and their subjects and everything. And we always have teachers, and everyone was like, hey, I'm really good in math. I could help you with your homework, you know? And that's beautiful. That I think the kid was really one of the ones who's struggling. I think it was all the way in Vietnam. And I think John, who's one of the teachers in Mrs. Palchet's school, was like, you know, anytime when you need help with your homework, I'll help you. That is really cool. So you have an international tutor who is like helping you, you know? So that's really awesome. Yeah. All right. Anyone else who'd like to say something?
I just like to say that,
yes,
you know, it's one thing to identify an opportunity and put people in touch with what might be something they could latch onto and make as a personal mission. And I want to just thank Nina and Owen for their enthusiasm and leadership for this, because that's what it is. It's leadership, it's hard work, and the infectious enthusiasm that they're conveying to the other students in the club is what helps bring this forward. Without their effort, if you need somebody to take responsibility and ownership of something, and they have done that. So thank you guys.
Right.
Truly, truly, right. From the bottom of our hearts, it's so amazing. We're just in awe of you guys. Thank you. Thank you a million times.
We're just getting started.
Yeah, that's so true. And for those of you who are out there watching, you did see their emails, and we'll also share their emails on our website. And you could also write to us at thevoiceofourchild@gmail.com if you want to know more about them and what they're doing. And also reach out to the Maasai Girls Fund, and through our company NVC Tours and Travel, we have a link there where you can get to see what about the Maasai Girls Fund and also be able to donate to that. And again, like we said, for everybody who books with us, we will educate a girl for a year. So I think Mrs. Partey, you look like you wanted to say something.
No, I just wanted to add, and I want to apologize again for the mix of names. I hope the young people have forgiven me for that. But just to appreciate what they have done, and even just the thought that they have thought of girls they have never met, and people are so far away, they are not their friends, they are not their social class. It means so much, and that also can take those girls from one level to the highest. Just to know that people very far away of different nationality and color are thinking about them. So thank you so much. We are so encouraged. There's so much. The need here is as wide as you can imagine. There's so many girls looking for help. So Carol, thank you so much even for connecting. And we pray that out of this, a girl's life will change for the better and forever. May God bless you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Arlene?
Yati has a question.
Sure, Yati.
Oh yeah, it's not a question, it's more like a suggestion. I mean, first of all, I just want to say, like, whatever you guys are doing, it's definitely commendable. I mean, no doubt about that. And to be like communicating with them miles away is something that I wouldn't really imagine. So I mean, hats off to you guys for that. But the suggestion I had was it's more of an idea where like you guys could perhaps do an online auction of what they might have drawn. So I mean, I'm pretty sure some of them might have been interested in becoming an artist or just having drawing as a hobby. So I was thinking like if at all you guys had like an online auction for them where they draw something and then you raise the funds like through selling that would also probably benefit them in a manner.
Yeah, that sounds great. That's a good idea.
That's a really good idea. Or even the beadwork that they do. Oh my goodness, Yati, that's a really cool idea. Yes.
I was just thinking about the art part of it. I didn't know like beadwork or anything else with it.
And can I show an example of the beadwork?
Sure, yes.
The beadwork is done by the mothers generally, more than by the children. I love the idea that, there you go. I love the idea that the kids would be called upon to make the painting.
Yeah.
That.
Very nice.
Beautiful belt.
And this one I actually got from Maasai when I was there.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a really cool idea. And Nina, we can help post that too on our website for you and on our social media page and and think of raising funds that way. Because and I don't see how you would have a problem trying to have people sponsor you because people really believe in our youth. And most of the time we're spending money, trying to bail out our youth out of jail or trying to pay rehab for them. This is something beautiful. Like you're a youth who we are spending money on so that you can help other youth so that we don't have to spend money on, dealing with their drug addiction or things like that. So I would really ask, reach out to organizations. We are raising wonderful leaders of tomorrow. And if we cannot as adults support, teens like you who are changing the world and wanting to involve other teens, something must be very wrong. So I'm sure that, there's a lot of adult organizations that we can help you reach out to who can help not just sponsor you and Owen, but, other teens for this project, because we want to fill out a plane and just really go there and, show the world that we can do this. So thank you. We will help you with that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, plans for this upcoming trip to Kenya will be firming up shortly. I know we're going to meet with Caroline about specific.
Yeah, we were looking at like the first week of June, and I know that when we did the trips before, we would write to the schools like with the kids, and most of the schools were very willing. They said what these kids are learning through that humanitarian trip is more than they can learn through their last week of school, and normally what they would ask like our kids, because we even used to do trips at the end of May because it's cheaper to go then, the schools would ask our kids to write like almost do a PowerPoint presentation of what they're doing every day and come share it with the class when they get back or even when they're in Kenya. And now with the Zoom, you can be able to be Zooming every day with your class, what you're doing in Africa. So that would be something great for the kids to do the last week of school, watch you and Owen and others through Zoom and the project that you're doing in Africa. I'm sure they would learn more than just probably hanging out in school and waiting for the last days, for school to be done. So yeah, the schools have been very good working with us like that. So, and we'll, once we get the dates going, and so far for now for the whole trip, including airfare for the teen is 3,800 for those who would like to be able to sponsor a teen for those 2 weeks. But again, we will be letting you know so much more about the dates. But please, if you're listening out there, reach out to Nina, reach out to Owen, reach out to us through the Maasai Girls Fund or through the voiceofourchild.org or voiceofourchild@gmail.com and sponsor these teens for the wonderful work that they're doing and the future plans that they have. So thank you everybody for your wonderful, just being here. I always say the secret to success is showing up, and you guys have showed up, and this is beautiful. And like I said, it will take all of us to make this happen for the world. And I just love that we can get together and be like-minded and think of ways that we can help. So thank you so much, everybody. And Everybody have a wonderful Saturday wherever you are. Have a good night. I know for some people it's very late, but every Saturday we do this, and every Saturday we have somebody else presenting. And I can see us having Nina and Owen again, maybe in a few weeks or so, just to give us an update on how far they're doing with their project and in raising the funds for this. So. And maybe we can arrange to have Moses take maybe a phone or a laptop to the village. You can actually also engage Mrs. Partete in taking, and then we can have the girls Zoom in too and be able to see you and see us face to face. That'll be awesome.
Let me know if you need my help, Carol. I'm always willing. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that'd be really awesome to have the girls there be able to see us through Zoom and what we are doing. So thank you so much, everybody, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
We'll all talk.
John. Well,
okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. Thank you, John, so much. Thank you, Nora. Thank you.
So long.
Bye.